Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Tonight is going to be a night of wrestling. Not too late because I got to go to work in the morning, but no wife, no kids. Little Caesars, hot and ready, deep dish pepperoni. We're going to watch some wrestling. We're going to make a couple reviews and we're going to knock this out. This is going to be a good old WWE Network review. The other night I watched SummerSlam 1988. This was the first ever SummerSlam. Basically, WWE was branching out. They had already added Survivor Series, which was a Thanksgiving night tradition. They wanted to have like the biggest party of the summer, a August pay-per-view. So along came SummerSlam 1988, which was held on August 29th. Big pay-per-view. The Mega Powers going up against the Mega Bucks. This basic storyline was one of the longest running storylines of all time. It involved the Mega Powers. It also involved, the build-up of WrestleMania 3, Hogan versus Andre, which led to the Ted DiBiase buying the powers of Andre the Giant, which he would use to defeat Hulk Hogan at the main event, which would set up Jack Tunney stripping Hulk Hogan, which led to the tournament at WrestleMania 4, which was Randy Savage beating Ted DiBiase in the finals, thanks to the help of Hulk Hogan, without the help of Andre the Giant on the outside as well, trying to help Ted DiBiase out in the win. And Miss Elizabeth plays a big part in that whole deal. But basically, the whole outside gimmick that was going on at the same time was that Hulk Hogan was going off with Vince McMahon to make the first ever WWF movie, which was No Holds Barred. That played into SummerSlam 1989, the one that I reviewed the other day, involving Zeus. But basically, when Hulk Hogan dropped the championship, it was to put the title under Macho Man Randy Savage. There was thoughts of putting the title on Ted DiBiase, but you can go back through shoot interviews and find the whole story about there was a night on Saturday Night's Main Event when Randy Savage was going to defeat the Honky Tonk Man, and the Honky Tonk Man said there was no reason to do this match with no build-up or no feud. He refused to drop the title to Randy Savage, and because of that, Honky Tonk Man got to keep the Intercontinental title. Randy Savage was promoted up to winning the WWF Championship. Ted DiBiase was promised a run with the title somewhere down the road, which in 2014 he has yet to do. So DiBiase got screwed out on that big time. But if you go through history of time, I have two DVDs. One to show from Philadelphia, one to show from the Boston Garden. There was a short period of time when Ted DiBiase was the WWF champion because Andre the Giant had won the title and given it to Ted DiBiase. I don't know if they didn't like the I don't know if they just didn't like the vibes that Ted DiBiase was giving off coming out with the WWF Championship, but he finally was stripped, which set up the tournament. Then they would later on give him the $1 million title that he would go out and buy and create on his own and defend in matches, which would later, Virgil beat him. I think Jake the Snake had. He wasn't the champion, but he had control of the title for a while during one of their feuds where he threw the title in the bag with Damien, and everybody was too scared to get it out of there. But basically, this was a huge match. Also, you had Jesse the Body Ventura, who was one of the lead announcers. He was named the special guest referee. I think they were playing off the fact that he had just made the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he was sort of looked at it as a big sort of fringe movie star, I guess you can say at the time. One of the first guys to come out of wrestling and cross over. You had him, you had Roddy Piper, a few other guys before you would get down to, basically Stone Cold Steve Austin making The Condemned. The Rock, of course, became a huge movie star, but, these are the guys that really paved the way. Also, I guess I already mentioned Hulk Hogan, No Holds Barred, Mr. Nanny, Suburban Commando, those kind of movies along the way. But this is an awesome show. I mean, anytime I watch shows from my childhood, honestly, I'm never, I'm never gonna go without, saying that it's always fun, because it's always fun to dig up old memories and figure out what's going on along here. Basically, your biggest feuds are going to be what's going on with the Mega Powers going up against the Mega Bucks. It's always weird to see Randy Savage as your WWF champion. He was champion in between WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 5 before, the Mega Powers exploded and Hulk Hogan was able to regain his championship. I think CM Punk says it best in The Greatest Rivalries, is that, as the kids, we watched this, and we thought that Hulk Hogan was on the up and up, but when you go back and watch these things that are going on, Hulk Hogan comes off as the biggest dick, as the worst best friend of all time. How he remained a babyface, I have no clue, but going back and watching a lot of Hulk Hogan matches, I think Hulk Hogan is one of the biggest heels of all time. I mean, this guy beat up women, cheated in matches, blatantly should have been disqualified in a ton of matches, and we all cheered for him and loved him because that's what we were told to do, was, take our vitamins and say our prayers and drink our milk and everything else that goes along with that. But this was a fun match, the main event was, and it's mostly just, Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan just getting outsmarted by the heels and just, double teamed and just beaten down. And there's a point when it looks like the Mega Powers are down and out, and they're both out on the outside of the ring, and Miss Elizabeth has the smart idea is that she's going to get up on the ring skirt, and she's going to distract everyone in the ring, from Jesse the Body Ventura, from Macho Man, I'm sorry, not Macho Man, from Ted DiBiase to Andre the Giant, and she rips off her yellow skirt to reveal red panties, granny panties. I mean, these are just the most horrible, non-sexy underwear of all time, and everyone reacts as if she just ripped her top off and she's standing there topless. Nobody can believe what they saw. It basically leads to Hogan running in and giving the body slam to Macho. I'm sorry, I keep skipping ahead. I want to watch WrestleMania 5 so bad after watching this. But, he comes in and gives Ted DiBiase the body slam, where Hulk Hogan holds him down with his foot, where Randy Savage comes off with the big elbow, which then Hogan, who has to have the last straw, runs and gives the big leg drop before they get the pin and the victory here. But this was a huge deal. This was a big ordeal. The way that they used to do sort of the do you remember, which leads up to this big match, in case, you either didn't know what was going on and you were at a friend's house, or maybe you just wanted to get really pumped up for it, was, now they sort of do collages, sort of videos where they just, play a whole bunch of stuff. They might, give you a theme song to go along with it, which, you watch WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan's, turning into a monster sort of video. It was pretty cool, but this was just straight up clips. They did this, they did this, they did this, and it's just like, bam, it hits you right in the face, and it's awesome. I mean, this basically almost gives you a good half of the Mega Powers angle before, they led to the big breakup on Saturday night's main event, with Hulk Hogan carrying out Miss Elizabeth and leaving Macho Man to fight all alone inside of the ring. But a great match. Really funny ending. Jesse the Body Ventura as a fringe sort of babyface during this whole thing. I love it. The fact is when he has to count the 3 count at the end, he counts 1, 2, and then he holds the hand up like, I hate Hulk Hogan. There's no way in the world that Randy Savage slaps the hand down to get the big 3. This would be a great show for you guys to watch, get pumped up for SummerSlam going on the way. Awesome moments. Ultimate Warrior winning the Intercontinental Championship. Mega Powers winning the big one at the end. Demolition and the Hart Foundation having a good match. Get to see a few legends and a few Hall of Famers along the way. So, highly recommend SummerSlam 1988. Peace out, everybody.